Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about a horror movie I just got in the mail. Maniac. This is one by Bill Lustig, who, if I remember correctly, also did Maniac Cop, which I also love. This is the Blu-ray, I think, does it have a DVD? No, Blu-ray and soundtrack limited edition with a 4K scan. This is not the 4K version that just came out. This is the regular Blu-ray with the 4K scan. I did look at some comparisons, and besides it looking a little bigger and a little brighter, it didn't look much different in 4K versus the 4K scan on Blu-ray. It has this little lenticular cover, and it has this thick case because it has the Blu-ray with the movie, and then a second Blu-ray with interviews and extras, and then the soundtrack as well, which I have yet to check out. So this movie came across my radar because I had been checking out movies by Joe Spinell, who I really enjoy watching. He was a great actor who did some really good creepy movies. He kind of came off as a just strange, greasy, angry looking guy, and I think he was an alcoholic in real life, if I remember correctly. He died from, is it called hemophilia? Is that the one where you bleed out? If you bleed, you don't really clot, your blood doesn't clot. I think he had hit his head or had gotten cut or something, and then laid on the couch afterwards and bled out on the floor, and I would assume if he drank, his blood was probably even thinner. So anyhow, that being said, this is a great, just sleazy feeling horror movie from 1980. It has, as I said, Joe Spinell, who you may know from some bit parts in things like Rocky. He was in one of the Godfather films, amongst other things. And it has Carolyn Munro, and they worked really well together in this movie. So well, they did a second film. And they did 3 films together. But anyhow, the movie is about Joe Spinell is a deranged killer who goes around picking up women and prostitutes and scalping them, and then putting them on mannequins in his house as like the blood and the scalp is like dripping off the mannequins. Meanwhile, he's sort of like fighting with his inner demons and going crazy, and they're trying to figure out who the New York City, maniac killer is. It's got some gore in it, and it's pretty creepy in ways. There is some scenes. There's one scene where he shoots someone with a shotgun that is very in your face and feels sort of like a claustrophobic, screwed up feeling in a way. It's kind of hard to explain. He jumps on the hood of a car and pulls out a shotgun and it just, there's something creepy about it. He played a very good weirdo, Joe Spinell. He was supposedly very good friends with Sly Stallone at one point, and I think they had a falling out. I did watch an interview with him where he said he had gotten very close to someone during The Godfather, so he was paid differently than everyone else, and he got like thousands and thousands of dollars every week or month for being in The Godfather, even though it had been 10 years later or whatever. He was still getting money from it. So I would wholeheartedly recommend Maniac if you haven't seen it. It has that gritty kind of Taxi Driver in New York feeling. Joe Spinell plays a great nut job. Carolyn Munro plays the normal, like, sort of pretty, damsel, but she's very good in it. There's some good gore. You don't know how the movie's going to end, and there's some good creepiness. I think it's a little bit of an under-the-radar movie. I did recommend it to my dad, who likes, like, straight-up violent horror movies, and he enjoyed it, so that says something, because he's usually pretty particular with his horror films. I would recommend Maniac. There is a bunch of different releases on this. So there's a Blu-ray that looks kind of crappy. There's a 30th anniversary Blu-ray, which is the same one, but I think it has like a second disc. Also looks crappy. Then there is this new 4K restoration on Blu-ray, which looks very good. And then there is the 4K version for the 4K players, ultra high def, and that looks a little better than this. So I would say this or the 4K version is probably your best bet. From my understanding, the 4K version does not come with the regular Blu-ray. So if you don't have a 4K player, go with this one. Great movie and very creepy. And if you like things like Taxi Driver with that sleazy feeling, and you like to see a heavy-set, sweaty man scalping prostitutes, check out Maniac. This is a very good movie. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.